So, teleporting space turtles do not exist. That is a fact. However, Veermen do exist. Wait, what? Oh. Hello! In this video we're going to talk about the Veermen for Deadzone 3rd edition. They're basically rat people, for want of a better term. No one knows if they came from Earth rats and were mutated, or they're just another race entirely. They are bipedal space rat people, essentially. They do use technology, although it's rather ramshackle. The Veermen, in a way, are kind of like fantasy orcs. They find something and make it fit how they can. They use chemical equipment and see how it works. They also experiment on themselves, which is why you get things like the terrors and the nightmares. And the brood guards, they are very hive based, which is why you've got things such as the brood mothers, which are there as a beacon for the members of the swarm to defend her and get rid of the enemies, so they can propagate and get further. Hello! In this video we're going to talk about the Veermen for Deadzone 3rd edition. Short answer is they're space rats. They are basically bipedal space rat people that they are kind of like fantasy orcs in the sense that any technology they may experiment on or find is a bit ramshackle. Even the chemical based weapons, it's basically a case of experiment on themselves and their enemies and see what sticks. Speaking of experimenting on themselves, they've created the hulking monstrosities such as the nightmares and the night terrors, to speak of a few. They've also got a fair few range weaponry, even though their shooting's a bit naff, which we'll get on to. They're also very fast and going by normal standards, like the colour yellow. So, if you're following along in the Force List book, you'll need to be on page 116. So the first leader is the progenitor. Speed of 2-3, range of 5, fight of 5, survival 4. No armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. Hacker, recon 4+, tactician 1. Surge. A Veermen model that was already marked as activated at the start of this turn may make a 1 cube move. This may trigger assaults as normal. This is pretty decent. It's a bit situational because the model you're using this on has to have already activated to be able to use it, which is a shame, but considering there's so many close combat models for the Veermen, it can be quite useful. It's also useful on the models that have got Rampage. The reason being is if the model's already activated, you're just basically moving them towards the enemy. It doesn't count as the model activating, so it kind of negates Rampage in a weird sort of way. You've got 4 loadouts you can choose from, starting with the chemical grenade launcher, range 5, indirect frag 4, 3 victory points, 29 points. You've got the spitter rifle, which is range 6 sniper scope, 3 victory points, 27 points. The toxic grenade launcher, which is range 5, indirect gas cloud toxic 1, 2 victory points, 24 points. And then you've got the smoke grenade launcher, which is range 5, indirect smoke, 2 victory points, 24 points. So you've got a sniper rifle, which is short range, but you've got fast movement, so kind of makes up for that. You've then got 3 different grenade launcher types. The basic grenade launcher is there just for being a grenade launcher, really. The toxic grenade launcher and the smoke grenade launcher are good support weapons. The smoke run grenades are obviously there to support your own troops, whereas the toxic grenades are there to pelt enemies and then will make it easy for you to shoot them and weaken them a fair bit, which is nice. It's not a cheap leader. Survivors on 4s, but it's got no armour, which is a bit of a downside, but it is fast. That's what you've got to think about. Next we have the Master Creeper. Speed 2-3, range of 5, fight of 5, survive 5, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. Dismantle, recon 3+, yeah. Scout, tactician 1. The splat is bomb expert. The active model may make a free shoot action with range 2, explosive, frag 2. That's not bad. It could potentially throw people about, and potentially throw them off buildings and suppress them. You're not potentially going to do any damage, but you're going to potentially pin things, and then one of your other models can rush into close combat and chew them up. Which, yeah, that's a pretty good combo. You've got 3 weapons on this. You've got the ray pistol, which is range 3. You've got the det packs, which are close combat AP2, and the det bombs, which are range 2, explosive, frag 2. 2 victory points and 20 points. It's a fairly cheap-ish leader. You've got pretty decent capabilities in both close combat and range. You've got the det packs, which are AP2, which is nice. You've got the det bombs, which throw people about and potentially combo into another model doing close combat shenanigans, which is great. Not too bad on vehicles, constructs and bikes because of the dismantle rule. And of course with a recon of 3+, you're potentially going to win the recon roll pretty easily. Next we have the Brood Mother. Speed of 1-2, range of 5, fight of 5, survive 4, armour 2, 3 hit points, size 2, 40mm base. Recon 4+, tactician 2 and tough. The splat is Inspiring Presence. The active model gains weight fire 1 and resilient 1 until the end of the round, which is nothing short of a great thing. Even the basic rifle, even the basic rifle for the troops have got weight fire 1, so it gives a weight fire 2 and resilient 1, so you get a bit of a reroll on that, so nothing wrong with that whatsoever. You've got 2 weapons. You've got the Chem Staff, which is range 2, AP1, it burns, and you've got the Claws, which are close combat, AP1. 4 victory points and 32 points. She is good at everything. Stats are a little bit meh in terms of shooting in close combat, but shooting in 5-on-5s, it's not bad. Armour 2 with tough, that's really decent. Tactician 2 and recon of 4+. Again, that's not bad at all. The Inspiring Presence also has good support capabilities, which, again, this is why she's a bit expensive and gives so many victory points when she dies. Finally, the Pack Leader. Speed of 2-3, no range stat, fight of 4, survive 5, 1 armour, 2 hit points, size 2, 40mm base. I'd have thought it'd have 3 hit points, but there we are. Recon 5, Tactician 1, and Stealthy. The splat is Fell Rush. Select a model from your strike team that is within 3 cubes of the active model. Move 1 cube towards the active model. If this move triggers an assault, the active model will gain Frenzy 1 in the subsequent assault action. The moved model is not marked as activated unless it already was. So this is sort of like Surge, but on a grander scale. Yeah, it's basically the same thing. You don't have to have the model activated, so you've got options. You don't even have to use it on the model that's activating. You can use it on someone else if you want. So you could potentially take some creepers, have them use their det packs, and then have someone else use the feral rush, and potentially if the det bombs pins the model, rush them in if they're close enough and beat them up. That's a really nice combo. It is situational, but there's some nasty combos you can do with that. It's got Razor Claws, which is close combat, AP 1, Frenzy 2, 2 victory points and 22 points. It's the cheapest, well, second cheapest leader. It's a good close combatant. It's got Stealthy, which you're not getting the extra dice for shooting against it. Only real downside is, even though it's size 2, it's only got 2 hit points, which I'd have thought it'd have 3, but it is what it is, I guess. It's not a bad leader. I'd rate it slightly higher than the Master Creeper, and actually the same as the Progenitor. It only slightly higher than the Master Creeper because it's got better close combat capabilities, and its Feral Rush can be comboed into a lot better. Though the Bomb Expert is nice, I really like it. The Rude Mother is just good overall, that's why she's expensive. And the Progenitor, you've got options on how you want to use the Progenitor. A ton of options. So next we have the Troops and Specialists. There's a lot of them. Starting on page 118. Oh god, there's a lot of them. Firstly, always sitting comfortably. Starting with the Thrall. Speed 2-3, no range stat, fight for 6, survive 5, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's a troop with teeth and claws, close combat, no victory points, 6 points. This is a cheap way to get specialists, really, which isn't honestly that much needed. There's cheap ways to get specialists with units that are also fairly good, so I guess if you want cheap stuff that don't give away victory points, there's that. Unlike other forces that do this, it's not really that necessary for these. They're fast. The Thralls are fast and they're cheap. That's really all they've got going for them. Next we have the Nightmare. Speed of 1-2, shoot of 6. Next we have the Troop and Specialists, and there's a lot of them. Starting on page 118. Firstly, the Thrall. Speed of 2-3, sorry. No range stat, fight for 6, survive 5, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. Troop with teeth and claws, which is close combat, no victory points, 6 points. They're fast and they're cheap, giving away no victory points. There's others that are cheap, that are fast, that have got good close combat capabilities. And unlike other factions, there's easy way to unlock specialists. This is another easy way that's cheaper than a lot of stuff. That's kind of it, really. Other than it's fast and cheap, not really going for it. Next is the Nightmare. Speed of 1-2, range of 6, fight of 4, survive 4, armour 1, 3 hit points, size 2, 40mm base. It's got Frenzy 1. All of these 4 options are troops. So starting with the Heavy Chem Thrower, range 3, AP 1, it burns, 2 victory points, 21 points. Twin combat drills, which are close combat, AP 1, frenzy 1, 2 victory points, 20 points. Chem thrower, which is range 2, it burns. And the combat drill, which is close combat, AP 1, 2 victory points, 21 points. And finally the heavy combat drill, which is close combat, AP 3, 2 victory points, 22 points. So you've got options. The chem thrower and combat drill kind of seem like it's trying to do close combat and range, but you're only range 2, so I can't really see the point. It's the same points cost as the heavy chem thrower and 1 point more than the twin combat drills. I would honestly either go for heavy chem thrower, twin combat drills, or heavy combat drill if it was me, because you kind of want them to be either really into close combat or really into the burny shooty options. That's what I'd do. Yes, you're shooting on 6s. Oh, okay, you're shooting on 6s. No, I'd still go for the heavy chem thrower, because you're burning things on 4s. Your shooting's not going to do much, but the after effect of the flames is going to be the deciding factor, I think, for it. So the chem thrower and the heavy and the normal combat drill, sorry, I think I wouldn't go for that one if it was me. But the others, as their troops, there's no downside other than they are expensive troop options. You just got to think of that one. Next we have the crawler. Speed 2-3, range of 6, fight 5, survive 5, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's a troop. It's got a ray gun, which is range 4, rapid fire, weight fire 1, 1 victory point, 9 points. It's fairly cheap, but its shoot is a bit naff. You've got good close combat, well, alright close combat, and you're fast. You're basically a thrall with a better fight value and a shoot stat and a gun. That's basically it. That's why you're 3 points more and you cost a victory point. I'd say I can't see the point of taking these, but you're fast, so that kind of makes up for the fact that the ray guns only got short range. Next we have the Stalker. Speed 2-3, range of 6, fight 4, survive 5, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's troop with a ray pistol, range 2, 1 victory point, 9 points. So it's 3 points more than Thrall with a better close combat stat. That's why it's a troop. It's got a gun, which it's there, I suppose. I can see the point of taking these. You want cheap troops that have got good close combat and speed. Why not take these? Why not indeed take these? Next we have the Rat Swarm. Speed of 2-3, fight for 5, no range stat, survive 6, no armour, 4 hit points, size 2, 40mm base, agile and beast. It's a troop with teeth and claws, which are close combat, 1 victory point, 14 points. It's not a cheap troop, but it's got 4 hit points and it's only size 2. And the models themselves are quite small, so they can hide behind things quite easily. And for 4 hit points, yes, you're surviving on 6s, but 4 hit points, you're going to be a while taking them down. It's only worth 1 victory point. Give them a go. I'd see how these work. I would. Next we have the Vault Stalker. Speed of 2-3, range of 6, fight 4, survive 5, armour 1, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's got charged. It's troop with ray pistol, range 2, 1 victory point, 11 points. It's basically a stalker with armour and the charge thing, which means you get a bit of extra movement, but you have a chance of taking a wound. The 2 extra points for having armour and the charge thing, I'd probably go for these over the normal stalker, because having the armour does somewhat make up for it, I think. Next we have the Malagus Clawshot. speed of 1-2, range of 5, fight of 6, survive of 5, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 40mm base. Comes with a defender shield, so essentially armour 1 and anyone else in the same cube, well, any friendly in the same cube is extra armour. It's a troop with a long rifle which is range 8, AP 1, hollow sight and heavy. 2 victory points, 16 points, which is a pretty decent shooting. It's a old school sniper. You can't move and shoot with it, unlike most snipers, which you can, but if you want the extra dice you're gonna have to stand still. Defender shield, so you could take 4 of these in the same cube, and oh no, you can only have oh no, they'd all count as having armour too, because the model itself would have armour 1. Oh no, they can only be, if each one can only be affected by 1 defender shield, so they'd all be armour 1. Who else would work with this? Grenade launchers, I guess, would be good for this. The grenade launchers, I suppose, would be the best thing for this. Make them armour 1. I suppose if you want a defender shield following the nightmares around, they'd be armour 2. You could have one following the broodmother around, make it armour 3. There's an option there for that. Other than that, you've got a snipering troop. That's nothing bad whatsoever. It's 16 points with 4 dice for shooting. Yes, you can move and shoot, but come on. Range 8 with AP 1, that's fantastic. It's the same points cost as a enforcer. That's nothing bad there. So next we have the Vault Runner. Speed of 2-3, range of 6, fight of 5, survive 5, armour 1, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's got charged. It's troop with ray gun. 1 victory point, 11 points. It's basically like the crawler but with armour and charged. If you want to go for crawlers, take these. Otherwise go for the Vault Stalker. I can't see the point of these or the normal crawlers, because their shooting's awful. Unless you're taking the leader, which gives the extra weight to fire, I honestly can't see the point in taking these, if I'm honest. Next we have the Malagus. Speed of 2-3, range of 5, fight of 6, survive 5, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's got hacker. There's a troop option which has got a ray gun, 1 victory point, 12 points. It's basically like the the Stalker. Is it the Stalker? No, it's like the Crawler or the Vault Runner, except it's got a better shoot stat but a worse fight stat. It's only 1 point more than the Vault Runner. Maybe. There is 3 specialist options. You've got the Chem Thrower, which is range 2, 1 victory point, 13 points. You've got the Chem Spitter, which is range 5, AP 2, rapid fire prey, which means if you're successfully hit the target, you don't necessarily need to wound, but just hit. It will mark the target with a prey counter, which means everyone else that target it in close combat will get an extra dice, which is nice. 1 victory point, 14 points, so it's not that expensive. Heavy ray gun, which is range 4, AP 1, weight fire 1, 1 victory point and 14 points. The Chem Thrower, being a specialist, I thought that'd be a troop. Whatever. Yeah, I thought that'd be a troop. I can somewhat see the point of having the Malagus as a troop with a basic ray gun. The Chem Spitter is great. The heavy ray gun, no, because it's the same points cost as the Chem Spitter. The Chem Spitter's got better range, and it's got more AP on it. Plus, it gives a prey counter. So, the Chem Spitter's the best for the Malagus options for me. Next, we have the Creeper. Speed of 2-3, range of 5, fight of 5, survive 5, no armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's got Dismantle, Engineer, Hacker and Scout. It's a specialist with the same weapon options as the Master Creeper. 1 victory point, 14 points. It's not that expensive. If you're facing off against the Asterians, you'll probably want to take a few Creepers, I'd say. If your opponent's taking a few constructs, vehicles or bikes, then you want to take some Creepers. These are pretty decent. You're doing extra damage against vehicles because of Dismantle, and you've got Scout, so you've got a bit of mobility there, plus you've got speed of 2-3, so you've got that. AP2 in close combat, and the explosive frag, not necessarily doing damage, but you're potentially using it for pinning purposes. Also, you've got ray pistol, just cause. Only gives 1 victory point, so not really much of a downside for taking these, really. Next, we have the Night Terror with Scythes. Speed of 2-3, no range stat, fight 4, survive 5, no armour, 4 hit points, size 3, 60mm base. Now, the Overcharger is on a 40mm base, but the models are pretty similar. Don't know why these are on 60mm bases. Hopefully Mantic will change these, because at the minute the models come with 40mm bases. So we'll see. I think they do. Put in the comments below if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure these come with 40mm bases, I think. Unless it shows something. No, it doesn't show any of the models. Oh no, they do come with 60mm. Never mind. It comes with Beast, Rampage and Tough. It's a specialist with Scythes, Close Combat, AP2, Frenzy 1, 3 victory points and 26 points. This is kind of like the Simian Brawler for the Rebs, except it's got Tough, slightly less hit points, and AP2 in close combat rather than extra dice. Your problem is, with this, it's got Rampage and it's got Beast, so you can't pick up items. The Rampage is going to be an issue here because it's fast and you've got AP. It's cheap, so that kind of negates things somewhat. And Tough really does help with the Rampage. So Rampage is an issue more than the Simian Brawlers, but the Tough will negate it somewhat. Next we have the Night Terror with Spitter. Speed of 2-3, range of 5, fight of 5, survive 5, no armour, 4 hit points, size 3, 60mm base, Beast, Tough and Rampage. It's a specialist, heavy Chem Spitter, range 5, AP3 and Prey, 3 victory points, 22 points. How many points is the Chem Spitter Malagus? 14 points, so it's 8 points more. Got more AP, doesn't have rapid fire on it, but more victory points. It's got Tough on it. Yeah, okay, I can see why. I suppose if you take a Thrall, you could then take a Night Terror, so you could take Thrall, then Night Terror, Thrall, then Night Terror, Thrall, then Night Terror if you want. That's basically 30 points, so for 150 points you could potentially have 3 of these. Rampage, yes, you've got Tough, but if Rampage goes off you could really hurt yourself, because the heavy Chem Spitter could give enemy models the prey counters against your own force, and the AP3 could really hurt heavy armoured stuff such as Striders or Iron Ancestors. You've really got to watch out. That being said though, the AP3 and the prey marker can be really useful. If you want safe prey markers, just go for the chem spitters or stuff later which we'll talk about. But it's 22 points. For what it does, it's cheap, but the rampage is going to be a bit of an issue even with tough going off. Just watch out there. Next we have the Shocker. Speed of 2-3, no range stat, 5-4, survive 5, armor 1, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's got charged. Specialist with Razor Claws, close combat, AP 1, frenzy 1, 1 victory point and 16 points. It's basically like a assault enforcer, but it's a specialist option. I can see why, because the Veermen are more dedicated for close combat and speed. If you kind of want that but more powerful, then the Shocker's what you got to go for. It's a cheap option. Again, the Night Terror is a heavier version. The Nightmare is also there, but again it's not cheap either. It's not bad. You've got charged, which is useful in a pinch. Yeah, it's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. Just take a few of these, I'd say. Next we have the Trapper. Speed of 2-3, range of 5, fight of 6, survive 5, armor 1, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's got charged and hacker. It's a specialist. The mine launcher is range 4, trap, frag 4, and it's got a range pistol, which is range 2. 2 victory points, 14 points. Even for a specialist, it's for a gun one, it's cheap. It's situational. However, you can litter the place with frag mines and they will go off at a moment's notice. You've got to be careful where you put them though, because if you've got an engineer or a hacker, they will just get rid of them. Fighting on 6 or so, don't get them into close combat. The mine launcher, like the debt bombs from the creepers, can blow people around, but frag 4 could potentially kill them or cause a fair bit of damage. For 14 points, they're cheap. Give these a go. Give these a go. Next we have the Fuser. Speed of 2-3, range of 6, fight of 5, survive of 5, arm 1, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. It's got charged. It's a specialist with a thermal blaster, which is range 3, explosive, frag 3, 2 victory points, 16 points. You don't necessarily need to be able to shoot your target, which is why it's got range 6, but if you can't see the target, you do, which is a bit risky. It's still pretty cheap for what it does, if I'm honest. Still pretty cheap. It's fast. It's got a good survive stat. It's got armor. It's basically like the thermal rifle that the Enforcer's got, but shooting's not as good. Surviving's not as good, but it's faster. I can't see these being used too much. The problem with the Fuser and the Shocker is that what they come with, there's not going to be enough models of each. So Mantic supply the arms, so if you want more Shockers, you're going to have less Fusers. If you want more Fusers, you're going to have less Shockers. That's the problem. Because of a production error, they come with arms but not enough models. That being said though, in the Vault Runner variant box that these come in, you've also got, I think, either 5 or 10 Veermin sprues, which you can just glue the arms on, so you've got extra Shockers or Fusers. So that point's kind of negated. That was more a major point for the Star Saga box. expansion, the Reclaim the Black Star Station. Fusers aren't bad. That's all I can say about fusers. They're not bad. There's other things out there that do their job a little bit better. How many points is the Creeper? It's a bit cheaper, and it's a bit more. It's got a bit more mobility, I'd say. Try them if you want. Nothing wrong with them. Next we have the Overcharger, which is basically like the Night Terror, but it's got armour, and it's on a smaller base, only because it came out in Star Saga, which is why it's on a smaller base. Speed of 2-3, fight of 4, no range stat, survival 5, armour 1, 4 hit points, size 3, 40mm base, beast, charged, rampage, tough. It's specialist with razor claws, which close combat, AP 2, frenzy 1, 3 victory points, 28 points. It's not cheap, but I can kind of see why. It's got tough, armour 1 and charged, so at a pinch can really make it move towards the enemy, which is why rampage is going to be an issue. Yes, there's tough, which negates it somewhat, but if tough ever works and that one, and you roll a 1 or a 2, then your opponent's going to use that charged, even if they don't use it, so it can risk taking damage and potentially dying. Yes, it won't give your opponent victory points if it does, because it counts as neutral, but it at least gets rid of an enemy model, so it's less things for your opponent to worry about. It's also not cheap, but for considering what it does, I can understand why it's not cheap, but just watch out for it there. I mean, the Shocker, it's only AP1, okay. The Night Terror with Scythes is 2 points cheaper. I would honestly go for the Night Terror with Scythes, because there's a lot less risk from rampage than the Overcharger, if I'm honest. Finally, for the troops and specialists, is the Brood Guard, a new model which I'd have thought it'd be bigger, but hey ho. Speed of 2-3, range of 5, fight of 4, survive 5, armour 1, 2 hit points, size 1, 40mm base. I'd have thought it'd be size 2, but hey ho. It's a specialist, it's got a chem thrower, and it's also got halberd, which is close combat, AP1, smash 1. 2 victory points, 17 points. It's pretty decent. It doesn't give gives away a fair few victory points, but it's only 17 points. It's got 4 dice in close combat with AP1. And before you move into close combat, you could burn the target first, which, yeah, I'd give that a go. It's up to a lot of stiff competition, but it's got 4 dice in close combat, and it's got the flamer thing, so I'd risk it. I'd risk taking these. I don't think these are bad whatsoever. You get these in a box, I believe, with the Brood Mother. I think these are brilliant. I'd take these. So next we have the support on page 123, starting with the Rumbler weapons platform. Before I go on, this model is actually really good for customization options. You can actually take the weapon off and put the other one on, and so you've got options of, do I want one weapon or do I want the other one? Not many models in Deadzone can do that. Usually you've got to stick with one or magnetize it, but with this one you have got options. So speed 1-2, range 5, fight hasn't got stat, survive 5, no armour, 5 hit points, size 4, 60mm base. It's a vehicle. You've got 2 options. You've got the super heavy chem thrower, range 5, AP2, it burns, 3 victory points, 27 points. Or you've got the super heavy ray gun, range 8, AP2, firing platform 1, suppression, weight of fire 1. I'd have thought it'd be weight of fire 2, but whatever. 3 victory points, 27 points. So you've got a case of a long range gun with fairly decent AP, suppression weapon, and rolls an extra dice, so you're getting 4 dice on it. Or you're getting a AP2 Bernie weapon with 5 square range. That is pretty decent, actually. Both of them have uses. How many points is the Night Terror? Night Terror with Spitter is 22 points, so it's 5 points more than that. I'll probably take this over the Night Terror, because yes, the Night Terror's got more AP and it does a prey marker, but this has got a bit longer range because you get 4 dice for shooting rather than 3, and it does suppression. It's got fair range for suppression, actually. It's not bad. A range fly flamer, you can still move and shoot with it. That's ridiculous. Next we have the Tunnel Runner. Speed 2-4, range 5, fighter 5, survive 5, armor 2, 5 hit points, size 4, 60mm base. It's a vehicle. You've got 2 weapons. You've got the twin chem spitters, which are range 6 AP2, rapid fire, weight fire 2, prey, and the scythes, which are close combat AP1, frenzy 1. 3 victory points, 33 points. I'm not sure why the Rumble weapon platform hasn't got any armour, but it is what it is, I guess. The Tunnel Runner is fast. It's got good shooting capabilities. Also, you can put prey on them. Size aren't bad. At least you got AP and a bit of frenzy. It's cheap. I suppose it's kind of the Veermin equivalent of the Strider, except it's faster rather than armoured, I suppose. It's not bad, and because of how cheap it is, you could potentially run 3 of these, and Mantic do sell 3 of these in one box, so why not? Next we have the Living Legends, starting on page 124. First one is Tangle. Speed of 1-1, range of 5, fight of 6, survive 5, armour 1, 5 hit points, size 4, 60mm base. Comms relay, tactician 2, vehicle. It's got 3 weapons. It's got Hysteria, which is range 4 psychic suppression, Visions of Death, which is range 4 psychic stun, and Visions of Glory, range 4 psychic invigorate. 3 victory points, 30 points. It's not bad. Good support capabilities, suppression, stunning enemies, or allowing your models to activate again, which ain't bad. It's got Tactician 2, which means you'll at least get some command dice even if your leader dies, and if you've got one of the leaders with Tactician 1, you'll get extra dice, which is nice. Comms relay is not bad on this, actually. It's a very good support ability, which I'll just grab the rule book for what it says. A model with this keyword is able to act as a spotter for their comrades. The model may use a special action to call in the coordinates of a target. Place a suitable marker in the cube within the comlink model's line of sight. Models using indirect weapons treat this cube as being within their line of sight. Note that this does not allow models to target cubes outside their weapon's range, or to otherwise fire into cubes that are not valid targets. Which, if you're taking a fair few creepers, this could be pretty invaluable. It's worth a try, I'd say. Worth a try. Next we have Hacker Halftail. Speed 2-3, range 5, fight of 6, survive of 3. Survive's very good. No armour, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base. Dismantle, engineer, hacker, scout, tactician 1. It's got 3. It's basically got all the weapons creepers have. 2 victory points, 20 points. It's basically a better Master Creeper. Survive. I've got dismantle. It's got all the notes that the Master Creeper has. It's just the survive is better, and it's also got scout, which I don't think the Master Creeper has. Oh no, it does. What doesn't it have? Hacker has engineer. Also has hacker, as the name would suggest. Okay, it's got that going for it. For 20 points though, that's not bad. You're getting a elite creeper for pretty decent points cost. Yeah, I'd say that's not too bad at all. Next we have the Piper. Speed 2-3, range of 6, fight of 5, survive 4, armour 1, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base, agile and tough. It's got a shock baton, which is close combat, AP 1, knockback, under control, 3 victory points, 34 points. So if you put the Piper with a Overcharger or a Night Terror, Rampage won't apply. It's also got its own special thing called Swarm Lord. When deploying this model, also deploy up to 2 rat swarms in your deployment zone. If there are ever fewer than 2 rat swarms in play when the Piper activates, the Piper may use a special action to summon a new swarm. Place the new rat swarm in the Piper's cube. There must be enough capacity in the cube for the new rat swarm, or it cannot be summoned. New rat swarms are part of the strike team and have normal profile and victory point cost. Rat swarms brought into play using the Swarm Lord ability do not count for strike team size, gain no experience, and are not added to the Veer player's roster. The last bit's more for campaign purposes. So yeah, you get to bring in a free rat swarm if you take the Piper. The main downside is if your rat swarms die in this way, you're giving your opponent free victory points essentially. The Piper itself fights on 5s, AP 1, he survived on 4s, got armour and tough, which is bad. Knockback could be useful. It's a little bit expensive considering what it does, but you can potentially swarm your enemies quite well, I'd say. I used to like using the Piper mainly because the rat swarms were free and didn't cost any victory points. But now that they give victory points when they die, it's going to be a bit more of a problem recommending him. He's doing things that other close combat units do. And yes, he's got tough, which is a good boon. He's a little bit expensive considering what else is out there. Finally, we have Thorn. Speed of 2-3, range of 4, fight of 5, survive of 4, armour 1, 2 hit points, size 1, 25mm base, charge, medic, tactician 1. He's got a heavy ray pistol, range 3, weight of fire 1, 3 victory points, 20 points. He's alright. Is the only medic the Veermen have got, so is that. Shooting on 4s, it's heavy pistol. Tactician 1, I suppose isn't bad if you want to keep your command eye should your leader die. Medic can be useful because you can heal and friendlies in the same cube as you get resilient 1, so you get a reroll 1 dice for survive test, which ain't bad. 20 points is about right, but I can't see people taking him because he's not going to do all that much, I don't think. I could be wrong. So next we have the items on page 125. Ammo was 2 points, can have as many as you want. AP ammo was 4 points, can only have 4. Frag 3 grenades are 6 points, can have as many as you want. Smoke grenades are 3 points, can have as many as you want, sorry. Stun grenades 4 points, can only have 1. Toxic 1 gas cloud grenades are 4 points, can only have 1. Trip mines 4 points, can only have 2. Combat blades are 2 points, and no limit for them. They are a interesting faction and a pretty good starter one. On the surface, they just seem to be really fast and good in close combat and pretty poor shooting. That last bit couldn't be further from the truth, because they can have really good shooting. You just have to look for it. They've got a lot of explodey grenade type weapons, a lot of indirect stuff with grenade launchers, and quite a lot of burning and AP weapons. Your main problem is that your troops' accuracy is a bit naff, plus that your survive's a bit and your armour is hit and miss on some of your small stuff. On some of your bigger stuff, however, it is really good. Your problem with some of your bigger stuff is it ain't that cheap, and you're potentially going to have problems with a rampage. Your vehicles are cheaper than most. Your sport options, should I say, are cheaper than most. That's because they're a bit weaker than most. You've either got the Rumbler weapons platform, which has got alright shooting and options on what you want to take for shooting, but pretty poor close combat, or you've got the Tunnel Runner, which is basically a big hamster wheel, which is fast, got alright shooting and average combat, I'd say. They're all right, but compared to a lot of other sport options that you see in other factions, they're a bit weaker, but their points costs do reflect this. The Living Legends, I'd probably say, are a bit outclassed. I mean, Thorn is a medic, but I don't think they really need it. The Piper, the problem with the Piper is that other models are doing things better, I'd say. Hacker Halftail is a semi-expensive creeper, and Tangle's brilliant. And that's the thing, there's only one of the Living Legends I'd say it'd be really good to take. The others are fighting for others for place in your force, I'd say. But speed is their main offense, while your slower units such as Nightmares, Brood Guard, Brood Mothers and similar are lumbering across the battlefield. They can be supported by your smaller and sometimes larger but very much faster units just running across, causing mayhem, while your large stuff goes around either supporting or hurting your enemies, don't come what may. So that's it for this video. Goodbye for now.